Bulletcast for life.
What is up, everybody? It's WrestleMania Backlash time. So that means I'm here, Brandon Tanguma, alongside Phillip Antwine, the Podfather, the Microphone Messiah, the J to my Jimmy, the Booker T to my Stevie Ray, and he's a 25-carat piece of gold. I don't remember. Once again, too many nicknames, and I don't have it down pat like he does. Everyone, Phillip's here with me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? You guys all right? Are you guys good?
It's like Blue's Clues. We got to wait like 4 seconds, or Dora, and then the people respond back, and then we say, oh, yeah, good, okay, yeah.
Can you say backpack? Swiper, no swiping. Do you know where we have to go to find the treasure? That's right. That take you back?
The Bulletcast is coming to a Nickelodeon station near you.
But look, man, this is going to be a media platform, like for all forms of media coming in the future, man. Like Brandon, I know you're the sports guy. I know you're a sneakerhead. You know, like let bulletcast.com. We can have some sports stuff. We can have some sneaker stuff. You know what I mean?
I knows what you mean. Also, I know is that we're here to talk WrestleMania Backlash. We have to say WrestleMania Backlash,
but
every single time.
Before we do, I did a tribute. I talked about it with Helion in the Click last night. Brandon, New Jack has passed away. R.I.P. to the original gangsta. What are your thoughts? Thoughts about New Jack? Anything? What you got?
So if you, quick plug, Curveballs and Chair Shots. If you listen to the latest episode, we put it up in 2 parts, kind of. And when we were going to go do the second part, literally like 5 seconds before I hit the record button, is when we found out that New Jack passed away. So if you want to get like my full raw reactions, I would kind of point you guys in that direction. It is timestamped, so you don't have to listen to the whole thing. But I mean, if you want to, you could. But it was crazy. Like just on the Bulletcast on Thursday, I talked about New Jack and how much I loved his Dark Side of the Ring, maybe my personal favorite. Obviously, it's not the best one, but it's just New Jack sitting down, telling New Jack stories, and they're just all crazy and insane. And I mean, New Jack is just one of those crazy / inspirational stories that only can come in wrestling, because I mean, the man came from terrible background and he had a very, very hard life before, during, and after wrestling. And I kind of said it, he might be the most overachieving wrestler like in history, just how successful he was with his quote unquote lack of skills, one might say, in the ring. I mean, his talking ability is just unreal. I think maybe we've only done like one real New Jack promo. It was back in Smoky Mountain. It was very, racially.
It was the OJ one.
Real racially intense, which is kind of what New Jack and what's his name? Is it Mustafa? Mustafa? Something?
Mustafa Saeed, yeah, he wrestled out here at APW in the garage.
Yeah, I mean, so those 2 guys over in Smoky Mountain, they were doing some things down in Smoky Mountain that maybe they shouldn't be doing. But New Jack, he's a gangster, as the tag team would imply, and it's sad to see. But as I also said on the podcast, like, let's be honest, he probably should have been dead like 20 years ago, and it's just crazy that he lasted this long. And apparently, he turned his life around, got clean, and that's just kind of the sad thing. But the Paul Heyman tribute or promo he had on Talking Smack, that was, really good, really eloquent. He kind of put it nicely. And, it's kind of a sad time. It was unexpected, but I think this is we do this all the time, where we kind of don't think about someone, but then when they pass away, we kind of reflect and we can appreciate them once again and look at all the stuff that they did. I don't watch that much stuff on Peacock, ECW related, so I don't know exactly what you can see of New Jack.
Yeah, I mean, the Dark Side of the Ring, like I said in my tribute, that really brought him back into the light, and he was just a character, man. The Natural Born Killers theme song, that was what Dre and Cube that made that song even more famous. So yeah, man, it's just crazy. I'm gonna play you a little snippet of that Smoky Mountain promo.
Put in front of me
I'm gonna drop you down. I like to send a shout out to my homeboy OJ Simpson. Keep up the good work, baby. 2 less we got to worry about. You understand?
You see, it was stuff like that where you're like, yo, wait, what is this fool saying? But it was real. Like, he made you believe in the sport. You know what I mean? Like he was out there and you're like, oh my God, this ish is real. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, RIP New Jack, man. One of the best to ever do it on the microphone. He was legit crazy, but he was he was what's up. He kept it real. Yes, sir.
For better, for worse, because I'm not going to just sit here and kind of gloss over and make it seem like New Jack was this perfect human being, which he absolutely wasn't. But I mean, the mass transit incident, the Vic Grimes incident, we all know it. Terrible things. We'll just leave it at that. All right, let's get on into what we're actually here for, WrestleMania Backlash. There was a pre-show. I will be honest, I did not watch it, but I did see that Sheamus retained his United States Championship, I believe over Ricochet, but Ricochet...
Where has Ricochet been?
He sits in the jobber locker room that apparently doesn't have anything to do anymore because the 24/7 title hasn't been a thing in months, which I literally just thought of like a couple days ago. And I was like, what the hell happened? The bunny gets the title, gives it to R-Truth, and we haven't seen it since.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the 24/7 title. I don't know what's going on with Ron Killings. But, can Ricochet be kind of a big deal like he was in the Indies just a little bit? Just a tad bit? Or when he was feuding with AJ, he felt like something. Am I right? When he was the United States champion.
Or even when he was feuded with Brock Lesnar for that cup of coffee. We all knew it was going to happen, that he was going to get squashed. But at least
he got to wrestle Brock Lesnar when he was the WWE champion in front of 50,000 people. I mean, come on. He lost quickly, but still, I'd be like, yeah, man, I wrestled Brock in front of 50,000 for the world title. No big deal. just a nice little flex. You know what I mean? Brandon, do you flex like that sometimes?
Yeah, I'm flexing right now, but we're not on camera, so you know.
No, I'm talking about you. Are you ever like, yeah, I'm on this podcast called the Bullet Cast. You know, we've had
it's world famous.
We've had former world champion Kelly on the show. We've had Emmy Award winner Chris Van Vliet. I interviewed a TikTok star, Starboy. I mean, I'm sure you flex like that.
No big deal. Whatever.
When you're picking up the ladies, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's definitely the first thing I go to. I mean, everyone just knows Starboy Charlie and Kelly and Abyss, which we don't talk about, but you know.
Oh, no, we don't. No, we don't.
All right. The actual pay-per-view, we get an opening with Batista narrating, and there was clips sprinkled throughout of his new movie. It's a zombie movie, which we will get into. It was just kind of plastered all throughout this show for better and definitely for worse. They go to the Thunderdome where Adnan Virk and the Raw crew is there. And we start off with a triple threat match for the Raw Women's title. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Asuka. And what we thought was going to happen happened. Rhea Ripley pins Asuka to retain the title. I don't got a timestamp on here because I'm not going to get timestamps forever. Man, that's my gimmick. And there's not a timestamp on this article. Come on, Keller. You need to step your game up. But anyways, Phillip, Rhea Ripley is still the champion.
She is still the Raw Women's champion. She's still the world champion. Congratulations to her. We knew this was going to happen. We knew Charlotte wasn't going to get pinned. I mean, she's a Flair. That's not what's going to happen in a triple threat match. It was fine. I was kind of out of it. You know, I wasn't really invested in this. Yeah.
Yeah, the match definitely had its moments. I mean, it's kind of hard with the way they've been building up the storyline to really get too invested. But with these three women, talented as they are, there were kind of spurts and kind of little moments where there was like, oh, okay, you know, that was good, kind of getting back into it a little bit. But overall, I did kind of go where he thought. I was able to pull something on around 15 minutes, and that seems about right.
15, 20, yeah.
Rhea Ripley. Excuse me. Do you guys not know I'm doing a world famous podcast out here? Can you turn your alarm off your car? Thank you very much. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, Rhea just like taunting the hell out of Charlotte at the end of it seemed like very, very childish. I don't know if that's supposed to be like endearing, but she was annoying, and I was like, just shut up, Rhea. She was doing like the nana boo boo, you know, doing like I don't even know.
Yeah, she was like screaming and screeching. I'm like, what are you doing?
She barked at her.
Yeah.
Shout out Charlotte. She was wearing some Cruella de Vil inspired gear.
It makes sense because, you know, that's what people think of her, which you shouldn't think that about Charlotte. She's an amazing talent and even better human being.
It has nothing to do with the Cruella movie coming out in a couple weeks.
No, absolutely not. There's a Cruella movie coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware.
Come on, you got to keep your ears to the streets.
That's right. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Moving right along, we get a backstage segment. Bobby Lashley and MVP. They arrived as they should arrive. Backstage, we get The Miz complaining to John Morrison about Damian Priest choosing a lumberjack match. And then Morrison goes and tries to go to the lumberjacks locker room. And what's in there? Or he says he's going to go there. And he ends up going there later on in the show. What's inside? There's zombies.
Yeah, there were zombies. People like Dave LaGreca, he completely buried this on Twitter. Guys, look, AEW has what Abaddon, like she's a zombie. She's a wrestling zombie. Nobody has a problem with that, except I guess me. The Undertaker is a zombie. The Undertaker is a zombie. Despite the theatrics and the urn and the lightning and the purple light and all that, he is a zombie. And he was around for 30 years. These guys were around for 7 minutes. We'll never see them again, probably. Who cares? It's WrestleMania Backlash. This isn't WrestleMania. This isn't the Rumble. This isn't SummerSlam. Who cares? Who gives a damn? I don't. It happened. We'll forget about it. You act like it's something we're going to remember like Katie Vick or something. Like, come on.
I don't know if we're going to remember it like Katie Vick, but I wonder whose idea this was, because the Batista movie is all around zombies, and we saw the zombies throughout the show and in the match, which we will talk about. But I would assume Batista has nothing to do with this, but yet he also did like tweet out something that he's going to send some buddies to the lumberjack match. So
plus, he did narration for the opening of the pay-per-view, so Batista's hands were on this.
Batista, what the hell are you doing, buddy? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say he's like a wrestling savant and knows everything about booking and everything, but I mean, come on. I'm not going to put the blame all on him because I'm pretty sure these are executives choosing this, but I would hope to God that Batista saw this and took the check and rolled his eyes.
That he may have done that, or he may have been like, that was such good shit, pal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Mysterios were shown earlier in the show, and poor Dominic got attacked by the Dirty Dogs, and he kind of got written off. He could not wrestle. It made it seem like Rey Mysterio was going to find another tag team partner, but he never did. He just wrestled alone as he went up against Ziggler and Rude for the tag team titles. Mysterio puts up a hell of a fight going back and forth. 17 minutes is the final total. Dominic does show up at the very end. We all knew this was going to happen, but I was thinking on the preview, I didn't think they were going to pull the trigger on it, but they doubled down. They had Dominic hurt, an excuse for maybe why they would have lost, but no. Dominic we get the 619 into a frog splash. Boom. The Mysterios are tag team champions.
The first ever father-son tag team champions, probably in the history of wrestling. I'll go on a limb and say that. You know, congratulations to Rey and Dominic. They did good work. Rey still has it. Was he like 45, 46? He can still go. Ziggler and Rude, they're in their early 40s also, and they're still going hard. So I think everybody played their part extremely well. Rude and Ziggler being the cocky, arrogant a-holes. Of course, like the jocks or whatever, picking on the older guy and his son. But all in all, Mysterios get the dub. Congrats, boys.
Yeah, I think Rey Mysterio did a really good job in the time that he filled. He filled up a lot of time, 17 minutes overall. I don't think the feud really deserved that to go that long. You could have put that somewhere else. But overall, I mean, I thought it was good, but I think the match did overstay its welcome. We get Kayla Braxton congratulating Rey and Dominic, and they just, were ecstatic and talked about the win. They said they're going to celebrate. We get an advertisement for Army of the Dead. That is the movie that is just sprinkled throughout this entire show. Then that's when Morrison finds the zombies in the locker room. We get Jimmy Uso in Roman's locker room. I mean, more sprinkling and more storytelling of the Usos and Jimmy trying to get Jay out of the grasps of Roman.
Jimmy Uso needs to fall in line. He needs to fall in line. I don't know what he thinks he's doing. Fall in line. Obey your tribal chief. Obey our tribal chief. He's the head of your family table. Like, does he not realize he can be kicked out of the family if he doesn't obey? So wait, if Jimmy's kicked out, do I get a spot?
I guess, put in your application, see what happens.
I'll be there. I used to live in Pensacola. We all went to the same high school out there. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it.
The Zombies kicked into full gear in the third match as The Miz with John Morrison takes on Damian Priest in a lumberjack match. Yes, there were zombies throughout the ring. The Raw announcers had to move to a safer location so they didn't get eaten. They had special, I don't know what you call it, effects or not effects, but they had Thunderdome screens changed to make it look like this dystopia. And Damian Priest wins in 7 minutes. The Zombies climbed into the ring and ate The Miz as Damian Priest was able to escape and do his celebration on the ramp. But they had zombies.
Yeah, it happened. We can move on from it. Yeah.
This was zombies. No call for it. No reasoning behind it. It's just because Netflix paid for it. So
exactly. Okay. Whoa.
You're making Fox money, NBC money,
Peacock money,
Netflix money,
Saudi Arabia money.
Oh, I mean, make all your money, Vince. Who cares
Absolutely.
if you're destroying the product, if you're destroying the business?
Whoa. He's not. Hold on. He's not destroying the business. He is the business.
He's destroying himself.
How dare you?
He's destroying himself.
How dare you? How dare you? Don't ever say that again. Apologize to Mr. McMahon.
Sorry, Daddy.
Yeah, like what's wrong with you? Like these spot monkeys, these people that don't know how to sell in Japan,
like Dominic Mysterio.
Those guys
has a busted rib the entire time.
No.
As soon as he wins, he's jumping for joy, hugging his dad.
Look. That's grit. That's determination. That's adulation. That's that's adrenaline. That's what that is.
Oh,
okay. Look, man. I understand that. I've walked into some matches back in my day when I was a high school wrestler. Beat up. I win. I throw my hands in the air, jump for joy a little bit. Got an unsportsmanlike conduct, but hey, I did that because I was happy that I won. Okay. Insulting the Mysterios, insulting zombies, insulting Mr. McMahon. Brandon, what's going on today?
I mean, I had too much to drink last night, to be honest. It's probably still feeling the repercussions of that. But anyways, hard right turn, hard for really any match to follow that zombie lumberjack match. But unfortunately, Bianca Belair and Bayley were put in that predicament. This was a SmackDown Women's Championship match. Bayley had, was it Bell Loser inked in the back of her head. So she had that going for her. And Bianca Belair gets the win in 16 minutes to retain the SmackDown Women's title. Solid match, really good match. Kind of a quick turnaround from WrestleMania. Hard for them really to get anything to really sink their teeth into in terms of like a story. But the action was good. But following the zombie match, it's really hard to get invested in a straightforward match when you just saw a man get eaten by zombies.
That's fine. It was fine. Yeah, they tried to go deep in the water a little bit. When she hit that Bayley belly, I'm like, are they gonna put the title back on Bayley? Like, are they just gonna do that? Are they just gonna do Bianca like that? But that wasn't the case. I thought the match was good. I thought both women worked very well together. I know they have chemistry together. Bianca was in a feud with Bayley before she even won the Rumble, so they have a little history. And I mean, she's beaten 2 of the 4 horsewomen. Who's next? It's Charlotte going over to SmackDown. Becky coming back to the blue brand. Like, what's going to happen? She has to beat them all. It's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. Got to beat them all.
I would say Becky versus Bianca at a WrestleMania seems like a pretty big match right now, especially if you keep Bianca on the same stretch. You save Becky's return for something special. That could be something. it'll be something. And you can do the 4 Horsewoman storyline as well. Then we get the WWE Championship match, another triple threat match here. Bobby Lashley, the champion with MVP, taking on Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman out here just breaking out all the moves. We know he's very athletic for his size, and he was doing some leapy things, and he took like a suplex and he almost broke his neck, but he didn't. And Bobby Lashley gets put through puts through the Tron, but he comes back and Drew McIntyre hits a Claymore on Braun. Lashley comes out, chucks Drew out the ring, hits a spear on Braun, and gets the win in about 14 minutes. So Braun is the designated fall guy in this. Kind of what we thought. Lashley does get the win. Surprisingly, I enjoyed this match. It was kind of, I don't know if I had low expectations, so they just surpassed them, but I think they had a really fun big man triple threat match. Something we don't normally see in WWE a lot.
Yeah, they did. I liked Adnan Virk saying last time the WWE title changed hands in the triple threat, it was WrestleMania 31, and giving us some stats. He could be the stat guy. I like that. Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Tron exploding spot a couple times. Lashley's been involved in the 2 out of the 4. So I mean that was cool. Yeah, Braun bumping his ass off. Braun was the workhorse of this match, and and then Drew got to really play up his strength and how strong he is. I mean, he looks big, but he doesn't really do a lot of like really big power moves to big guys. Only when he's in there with them, because he's usually wrestling people either his same size or a little bit smaller than him. And Lashley just coming back in up to the Claymore, spearing him, getting the dub. I liked it. The reign of the Almighty is still among us.
Yes, it is. The finish kind of came out of nowhere, but with Lashley just on the outside, I mean, he literally disappeared. We didn't even see where he was after that Tron spot. So we knew he was going to come back eventually, but we just didn't know when. And I think they did a nice job. There were some technical errors kind of sprinkled throughout the show, but they did a nice job on that one, keeping the camera so you didn't see Lashley until he showed up at the very end. Mike Cole and Pat McAfee return to the stage. Hey, I don't know if we talked about this, but how do you like Pat McAfee as a kind of full-time commentator?
I like him. He's charismatic. He's got spunk. He has it. He has something. He could be a more over the top Jesse the Body Ventura. You know what I mean? And him coming from a pro athlete background. Him kind of giving his analysis into like what these guys have to go through to train, and when you're like in the big game or in a big match, because he has some wrestling experience. If you didn't know, then yeah, like I think he adds to the product, and I like Pat McAfee.
I like him too. I mean, I liked him before he came into WWE, so I might be a little bit biased, but I think he's doing a good job. Sometimes, I mean, I kind of expect him to be a little bit too much, a little too cute, but I think he's found his lane. He's been doing a good job thus far. They announced that Hell in a Cell is returning, and it's going to be in June. Normally, it has been an October pay-per-view, but they're just going right into it for June. So I don't know if this is them holding off Money in the Bank to possibly be like an in-person show. Phillip, is there a reasoning behind this, or are they just kind of just threw it out in June because why not?
They're trying to be different. Anything can happen in WWE, So, yeah, I think they want Money in the Bank to be an in-person experience. And with the rumors going around that they're looking to start touring and having live fans back in attendance before SummerSlam, like in July. So that would make sense. And I think Money in the Bank was like before, like after it became a traditional pay-per-view, like June or July, it was always in that time frame. So yeah, I mean, I'm for it. Hell in the Cell this early. Why not? Right?
Why not? Because when we have all these feuds that don't really need a Hell in a Cell, let's just throw it in there because the halibut. The camera cuts to Gorilla after Cesaro makes his entrance. Roman is just standing there while Jay is trying to hype him up, and Roman was like, Jay, just shut up. Don't need you. I'm the head of the table. I'm just by myself. And so he scolded Jay and he walked off. So is this kind of a way of Jay? I mean, Jay, he came back at the end of the match, but just one more little thing sprinkled in there to possibly Jimmy's kind of be like, look, he did this to you. He doesn't respect you. Come with me. We'll be tag team champions. We can be equals.
Or why don't they be tag team champions and align themselves with Roman? I don't get that.
Because Jimmy sees Roman as a bad guy. Not saying he
but
is.
money, power, clothes, and hoes, all the Negro knows, right?
Some that maybe that's what some people strive to be.
That is what some people strive to be. I mean, but what's wrestling about, Brandon?
Money.
Money and what?
Money. I like money.
Money and championships, okay? Jimmy, you want to be a champion, all right? But you also want to provide for that family. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple of rugrats running around. Roman, he's the financial superior right now. So you want to align yourself with him, get some of that cheddar, baby.
The main event match was Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman taking on Cesaro for the Universal Championship. They go pretty long, kind of like what we've known for these Roman Reigns matches, 27 minutes. And Roman retains the Universal title after choking out Cesaro. The story of the match was Cesaro had a bad right arm, and that was kind of the story weaved throughout. But ultimately, he succumbs to the guillotine, passes out, no outside interference whatsoever. Roman beats him clean. Not saying they can't go another match, but Roman gets him middle of the ring, clean as a sheet. And then Seth Rollins comes out, little stare down with Roman. Don't really know what to make of that, but
Seth with some new music as well.
An extensive beatdown on Cesaro. So, Phillip, your thoughts on either the match itself or the aftermath, or everything? Who knows?
Well, Seth's new music, I like that. Mr. Drip Rollins. I mean, the drip is it's too hard right now. It's way too hard. John Morrison, like, get some of that drip. You know what I'm saying? The match itself, hey man, he beat him clean smack dab in the middle of the ring. All right, and that's what I've been saying. Roman just needs to beat people clean without any assistance. This was a really good match. I mean, Cesaro with the corkscrew crossbody over the top rope onto the floor, just really selling the arm. You know, putting in a sharpshooter with your left arm is extremely difficult. Putting in a sharpshooter in general can be kind of confusing, let alone to do it with not your dominant arm or ligament. That was impressive. The springboard uppercut he was going for into the Superman punch, thought that was a cool spot. And Roman and Cesaro just going to town, man, just wrestling, just putting on a good banger of a match. My favorite match of the night. I thought this was really good. Now the stare down with Roman and Rollins. I was like, okay, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna go there? I was like, nah. Seth is. I think he's having a little too much fun being this bad maniacal Messiah character. So the attack on Cesaro, I mean, it's probably just to keep him off TV for a nice little bit. But who's next? That's the real question. Who is next?
I don't really know who is next. Wasn't there supposed to be a fatal 4-way IC title match? What happened to that match? Was that on the pre-show and I don't even know about it? Probably.
That was not on the pre-show. It didn't happen at all. I didn't even know that was supposed to be happening.
That's what, because I remember they announced it, and then I just remembered right off the top of my head that, that's supposed to be a thing, isn't it? But anyways, the match itself, I mean, I really enjoy. I think I agree with you that was my favorite match of the night. I do like the mannerisms and just Roman smack talking throughout. He puts Cesaro, he has him like kind of in a standing arm bar type, and he's just talking to the camera like, yo, DB, you see this? You know, he's going to be just like you sitting at home, and he's just, smack talking, and just, he has the swagger that I always saw him have. And I kept saying, if you just turn that heat the right way, have him be a heel, he's money.
He was doing some Daniel Bryan moves, with the arm break. It was like, this is a DB move. This is a DB move. And like you get the arm over your shoulder and you just snap it down. He was doing stuff like that. I'm like, okay, maybe that should be a part of Roman's character also. The people he puts on the shelf start doing a couple of their moves. Why not, right?
Why not? You just, he's kind of like Randy Orton. You're the legend killer. And when you take someone out, you can just take whatever they have because it's yours now.
Absolutely. Well, Randy, he wasn't like doing a Mr. Sacco when he got rid of Mick Foley, but
Yeah, well, maybe he should put that in his back pocket.
Yeah, instead of the RKO, just Mr. Sacco, the Sacco. Hey,
if you can get over without taking a bump,
why not? Right?
Oh, the Fatal 4-Way is for next week's SmackDown. Okay, my bad. Hey, you know what? I did the research. I found out that I was wrong, and I just want to admit that I was wrong. All right.
Okay. Brandon, overall grade for WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah, WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah.
My overall grade for WrestleMania Backlash, I'm going to give it a C+, mainly because of the zombies. If there was no zombies, this could be a B to B+ type show. But the zombies, I could not give a good grade to a show with the zombies. And especially because if it was like one thing in a bubble, I'm not going to be, passing of it, but it was just clear as day, the marketing, and it was everywhere. They had them on the Thunderdome, whatever, fan screens behind the announcers. It was a little too much for my liking, too corporate.
I see. But I thought you wanted to go corporate.
I mean, I'll go corporate if you want to pay me, but.
Oh, okay. All right, I see. I'll give it a 79.99999999999. I'll give it one of those. Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for Brandon and myself. Check out In the Click whenever that drops my episode. You will hear Baby Huey and I talk about blood and guts and other things. Next Saturday, Agua is live at Level Up. It's a new level. I'm on a new level. Go check that out. Tickets are $30. And if you're there live in attendance, tickets for their next show in June, the Deathmatch show, will be $20. So you go check that out. I'll be doing some interviews there, some really good stuff. Check out my commentary for Global Syndicate Wrestling High Voltage, Super Nitro, the Next Gen Champion Gio Galvano going up against Anthony Gangone and the Brooklyn Outlaw Donovan. Some a cliffhanger happens too, so you got to watch that. Brandon and I will be back on Thursday to recap everything Raw, SmackDown, AEW, and everything in between. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe, stay quarantined, get vaccinated. Diamonds are forever. So is the Microphone Messiah. Have a great day or night, everybody. Woo-hoo! I love you.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.